I just want to apologize to any Americans who are out there who still have flight cancellations or delays today. I want to apologize to the many American families who were made to go hungry over the last several weeks, our troops and other federal employees who are wondering where their next paycheck would come from. All of that's on the Democrats.
Welcome back from your taxpayer-funded 7-week vacation.
Democratic leadership slamming the House Speaker's move to keep members out of session while the shutdown dragged on.
Don't get hoodwinked and bamboozled. The only test should be this. Did they get paid while you didn't? Air traffic controllers, federal workers, TSA, whoever was negatively affected, meaning you got to go to work and not getting paid. That should be the test, because last I checked, they still get their checks. So don't fall for they did it, the blame here and there. Moreover, do you think they care or cared about you not making the groceries or what have you for the month? I don't think so, because again, they're still getting paid. And so that's what I want you to focus on, so that you can learn from what's going on and start putting yourself in the best position that you possibly can at this time. Hi, my name is Robert, and on this channel, we simplify the home loan process. So I want to remind you what you've been going through and ultimately let you know that it ain't over. And this is a temporary fix through the end of January 2026. So in my humble opinion, please listen to the urgency in my voice. And if you have found yourself directly affected by someone else that's playing in your face while getting paid and you're not, and you've gone through this litmus test and you found some holes in your situation, now's the time to address it.
Hey y'all, my name is Ashton. I've been an air traffic controller for the past 4 years. We've officially missed 2 full paychecks, and the last full paycheck being in mid-September. I am now owed over 150 hours of back pay. A lot of people think that since the Senate has reached a quote-unquote deal that the government is now reopened, but that is not the case. This quote-unquote deal will still have to be passed by the Senate, passed by the House, and then signed into law by the President, and who knows how long that's going to take. Even when the government does open back up, who knows how long it's going to take to actually get paid. There are some controllers from 2019 last shutdown that's just finally getting their back pay over 6 years ago after multiple lawsuits. As always, safety is always the #1 priority, and you should never feel unsafe to fly. But we do just hope this whole shutdown ends soon, so y'all just get back to some type of normalcy.
Crazy work. First of all, Ashton, hopefully everything is going well for you, young man. And like you said, hopefully things get back to normal so that you can start receiving your pay. I appreciate what it is that you're doing, because it's a very important job for those that are flying. Peace of mind is very important, because it's an important job. That being said, this is what I'm talking about, guys. He mentioned air traffic controllers that were around about 7 years ago in 2019 when this happened. They had to sue to get their back pay. Don't miss what I'm saying. So all of these politicians and I'm sorry and they did it that day, again, they're still getting their checks. They didn't have to sue anybody for their pay because they never missed it. Ashton is missing it. And so he's the type of person, in my opinion, that should get SNAP benefits and things along those lines. And they should be taken from able-bodied folks that are abusing the system. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And not elderly, not those that are sick or cannot take care of themselves. Able-bodied. See, Ashton needs to get some help while the government's playing, so they can ultimately pass a bill that will enrich healthcare companies to the halt again. See, that's what nobody's talking about, because most people that get on these social media networks that always want to use the scriptures and play the victim, you ain't working. Ashton's working, still going to work to make sure if you're flying, you got that peace of mind that you're safe, right? Just trying to get back to normal. And the only thing he's asking is, hey, when it gets back, hopefully I don't have to wait 8 years and sue for my back pay. I digress. If you find yourself in that position, I've been in that position, not because of a government shutdown, but because of 2008 and a lot of the toxic mortgages that were done at that time that affected a lot of people. Okay. And what I learned from that is this. One of my elders says this: a minimum, you got to have a season. That's 3 months. So what we should be learning from this is this. All right. Can I last 3 months? My food, my shelter, the necessities, do I have that lined up? Or did this show me that, I need to tighten up in a couple of places? Because one thing is for sure, these folks show us what time it is because they just did it 7 years ago. And they don't care. They play with you. They talk. They play with your emotions. You got to watch. You judge a tree by what it does. So that's what we want to learn from Ashton. And again, young man, appreciate you. Hopefully you get back and don't feel don't feel ashamed. Tap into those resources that they have for you because you the one that need it, right? Maybe they'll take it away from some of these able-bodied people that are stealing, and you could get over the hump until you get back on your feet.
I know you all have just gotten the news today, which is SNAP benefits are actually coming back to those who were receiving them. However, for those who were getting SNAP, they're only going to get 50% of what they got received in October. All right. So what does that mean? That means that anybody and everybody who is pretty much strapped for cash, food is about to get really expensive for your household. I experienced this, I want to say about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and I won't forget it. It was during the Great Recession, or almost 20 years ago. And I had to figure out how to actually make food, not only from scratch, but how to cook cost effectively. So what I did, I searched online to look for tools that you guys will need, because for a lot of people, I noticed out here, a lot of people are buying like prepackaged, processed box food. And a lot of times, if you depend on prepackaged food, you don't have the necessary tools you need in order to cook from scratch. I remember when I first started cooking from scratch, and I was using a cereal bowl and a fork, and that was the worst thing ever, but that's all I had. And I didn't know what I needed in order to make the food that I'm able to make today. Right? So that means that you're going to need mixing bowls. You're going to need a spatula. You're going to need graters to grate your cheese. You're going to need measuring cups and measuring spoons. And if you go to the link that's in the bottom of this video, there is a full set of baking tools and cooking tools that you can get that is relatively cheap. And I would say start investing in those tools this month, because although your SNAP benefits have been reduced by 50%, you might have a little bit more change in your pocket. Not much, but you have some change in your pocket to get the tools that you need so that in the coming months, you have everything that's necessary in order to start making food at a much cheaper price. So check out the product in the baking set in the bottom of this video, and I will join you later to show you how to use everything. Talk to you later.
Shout out to you. I hope I'm pronouncing this the correct way, but I believe the name of her channel is Hoeing Around for You. And you guys make sure you get down in the description in the credited section and follow her. I love her approach. And here's the lesson. First of all, she didn't beat you up, okay? But in essence, you got to learn how to cook. And a lot of us learn certain things after we have gone through tough times or situation. These times should help all of us identify the areas that we need to get better in. So a lot of us need to learn how to cook. And what better way to do that than having the tools, the utensils that you need, so that you're not in a bowl with a fork. I think that she said a cereal bowl. But she has gone through these times. And so she's also identifying a solution for you. And that's what's missing today. Everybody's a victim. Gotta quit being a victim, and we gotta deal with what we have to deal with. And then lastly, she's gonna benefit, and you guys go follow her channel and buy the utensils. And the reason I say that is I've told a lot of you guys that, hey, I think everybody should have a YouTube channel or some type of online presence. That's just me. But everybody's like, everybody don't want to be online. Again, all of you folks that want to receive free benefits, you never want to do any work. And it's always an issue. I'll tell you one better. Today I was over at one of the properties, getting it ready after some folks have moved out. And you know how that is. So anyway, the point is this. The 4 contractors that I've met with are Hispanic dudes, Hispanic men, young men, okay, younger than me, all right, in their 30s. And so today, one of the guys that came by put in an outlet for me, $300, okay? And so I'm always fishing and asking questions. Here's the meat of the story. He's telling me that there's such a need for electricians that journeymen, these are folks that just on the job, learning the trade, don't have to go to school or anything of that nature. They're making anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000 a year. But if you get on these internet streets, the sky is falling everywhere. Okay. So you have to choose to participate, not to move forward, because everybody's not struggling. So I was like, what do you mean? 80 to 100,000? Because I was like, you know what? I was like, if it push comes to shove, you know, I could go be a journeyman, right? I could do it. And I was like, well, why aren't more people taking advantage? And he's 38 and he was like, because people are lazy. They just want to check. Nobody wants to work. And I was like, wow. So opportunity is out here. She presented an opportunity online. If you don't want to do it online, there's analog ways to do it. But at the end of the day, even this is work. The 4-letter word that a lot of you guys that have gotten used to these handouts over decades have lost the art for. And so you better wake up humbly and respectfully. I'm just sounding the trumpet, because they're going to start identifying people that really don't need this help. People that need it and are warranted and have to have it, you guys are going to be fine. But they're going to start weeding these folks out that have been gaming the system. And you can come up with, you know, this person stole this and this did that. That ain't got nothing to do with you. They looking at you, if that shoe fits. So if I were you, I would take this opportunity to start getting on my feet so that I can eventually own my home. It's getting to a point where, you know, did you see the 50-year mortgage? Check out the video I did. Okay. It's not, I'm not saying it's the devil, right? But think about it. 50 years. A lot of folks have pushed the first time home ownership to almost, depending on where you are in the country, between 42 and 47. You follow what I'm saying? So you don't have to do 50 years. You could do 30, pay it off in 7 to 15, but you gotta wake up. And that's why I do these videos respectfully. So with that, I'm gonna take a cue from hoeing around. If you would like to get on the property ladder and learn how to do so the proper way, my contact information is in the description below, because don't believe the hype. I'm trying to tell you, rent is going to be $3,000 down the line if the Lord tarries. You heard it here first. Don't be that one crying, talking about, I can't pay my rent. I'm trying to get you in one now, especially if you're 25 to 40. Now is the time. Y'all reach out. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, let's be good to one another. Let grace abound. You guys check out these videos here before you get out of here. And then until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.